I grew up in the small farm town of Maxwell, California. In Maxwell, almost everybody has something in common. They either grow rice or orchard crops like almonds and walnuts. My family has grown rice for over 50 years, and growing up, I worked either during planting or harvest seasons whenever I had the time. In recent years, as nut prices have risen, I've noticed a lot of local growers who have opted to put in almond orchards. One distinct attribute that separates almonds from rice and walnuts is their reliance on honeybees for pollination. California alone contains about 1,020,000 acres of almonds, which all rely on honeybees for production. Every year, anywhere between 900,000 and 1 million bee colonies are transported to California in order to pollinate almonds alone. However, for much of the last decade, beekeepers have continually reported annual hive losses of 30% or higher over winter months. Scientists relate these mysterious losses to colony collapse disorder, or CCD. Although there is no proven causes of CCD, many beekeepers and environmentalists blame pesticides, in particular neonicotinoids, on colony losses. Neonicotinoids, or neonics, are systemic insecticides that are taken up by a plant either by roots or leaves and move through the plant just as water nutrients do. Because of this systemic action, neonics are believed to be more effective and less of a threat to applicators in the environment, thus becoming more popular within the last decade. Since they move through the entire plant, neonics are also present in the flower's pollen, which is the reason they are problematic to honeybees. Applications during the flowering stage of the plant's life cycle are shown to provide doses of neonics that could potentially cause serious bee mortality. Effects on bees include impaired learning behavior, short and long-term memory loss, reduced reproduction rates, and altered forage behavior. It is these effects that cause beekeepers and environmentalists to question the safeness of the neonics as well as other pesticides. Chemical companies and some farmers argue that these studies use levels of neonics that are very unlikely to be present at toxic amounts in agricultural settings when applied according to the label. According to the USDA, several studies that reported a negative impact on honeybees by neonics relied on large, unrealistic doses and gave bees no other choice for pollen. Bayer Crop Science and Syngenta plead that neonic products are only biologically active for the limited amount of time the target insects are active, thus minimizing hazards to bees. As there is no question neonics at adequate doses are potentially harmful to bees, many believe these products are not the sole cause of colony collapse disorder. Instead, it is thought that a series of factors play a role in bee colony loss. The main theories as to the cause of CCD are invasive varroa mite, new and emerging diseases, stress induced by colony management practices such as transportation, changes to the habitat where bees forage, and inadequate or poor nutrition. A main culprit, the varroa mite, has been shown to have direct impact on honeybee colonies and, if untreated, has the ability to kill an entire colony in as little as 2 years. Studies show the highest levels of chemicals present in affected hives are chemicals used by beekeepers themselves to control this mite. Beekeepers and their colonies are extremely important for pollination, and without them, high production agriculture as we know today would not be possible. Although many theories exist as to the cause of CCD, the exact reasoning remains unknown. The USDA and EPA are working together in response to CCD and formed a plan that includes surveying and data collecting, analysis of bee samples, hypothesis-driven research on factors affecting bees, and preventive measures to promote bee health and prevent mortality. Integrated pest management techniques should be a priority and chemical use should be a last resort. Colony collapse disorder needs to be solved to protect California's agriculture industry. Without pollinators like honeybees, small farm towns like the one I grew up in might not exist today.